Good morning. In 10th class biology, in the first chapter life process, today we have to study human respiratory system and the mechanism of breathing. When we observe the human respiratory system, we found that the two lungs have been enclosed inside the thoracic chamber. This thoracic chamber are encased inside the rib cage, and this rib cage protects our muscular lung. This muscular lung and the rib cage are attached with the pleural membranes. Pleural membrane is double layered membranous structure, which is attaching the lung tissue with the rib cage and the thoracic chamber. We know that. Here you can see the respiratory system of the body, of the human body. You can see this is the nasal chamber, this is the nasal passage, and this nasal passage is allowing the inhalation of air which is going through this tract, and firstly it will reach to the pharynx, then to the larynx, then trachea, then ring of cartilage. Then ring of cartilage has been branched into two branches, bronchi. One bronchus is going in one side lung and another bronchus is going towards the another side lung. This bronchus has many branchlets, and these are called bronchioles. And bronchioles are terminating into the balloon-like structure which is called alveolar sac or alveoli. These alveoli are rich in network of blood vessels in which the blood is circulated, in which the RBC is circulated. In RBC, the red pigment hemoglobin is circulated. Just in the lower wall, when you observe minutely, you can see the muscular structure is formed. A muscle is formed which is called diaphragm. In the respiratory structure in the lower area, you can see a attached structure, diaphragm is formed. The structure is formed, that is diaphragm. So this is the human respiratory system. This is the human respiratory system. You can see this is, and this figure 2, human respiratory system. In the page number 104 of the NCERT 10th class, you can see this figure. And this is the extract, a part of the alveolar sac, the balloon-like structure. You have to know that when we have to inhale our breath in the gases from the atmosphere, you have seen in the figure that a muscular structure is formed in the lower part of the respiratory tract, that is called diaphragm. Generally, it is curved in nature. This diaphragm is curved in nature, but at the time of breath in, inhalation of gases from the atmosphere, this diaphragm get flattened, get straight, get flattened, and uplift the thoracic chamber. If the thoracic chamber is uplifted, the muscular lung is also pulled outward, and there is expansion in the lung. This expansion in the lung also increases the volume or the space inside the lung or inside the alveolar sac. In this way, whatever the air quantity or volume of air was earlier present, if the space increases, that particular volume of air becomes less because the space has more and the air is very less. In this way, air pressure decreases. To fill this lower zone of air pressure, the air from the zone of high pressure start to reduce inside the body, and that air will be inhaled through these nostrils and coming inside the respiratory tract. We know that different types of impurities are found in our atmosphere: dust particles, germs, small minute insects. So the hairs in the nostrils prevent the dust particles to go inside the lung. And the mucosa epithelial layer, which is found in the inner lining of the respiratory tract, secrete mucus. And this mucus adheses the dust particles and help the nostrils to filter all the impurities to go inside the lungs. Now this air will be going through the pharynx, and in pharynx there will be the intersection in two divisions. one that will be going to the food pipe or esophagus, and one which is going to the larynx. We have to know that just above the larynx there is a cartilaginous flap is found, which is called epiglottis, and that epiglottis is closed during the ingestion or swallowing of food to the esophagus. That epiglottis prevent any entry of food granules inside the lung. That epiglottis only open at the time of inhalation of gases. Now the air will be going to the trachea, and through the ring of cartilage it will reach to the two branches which is going to the two lungs, that is called bronchus or bronchi. These bronchi have many branches which are called bronchioles, and the terminal structure of the bronchioles are called alveolar sacs. Alveolar sacs are the balloon-like structure which whose wall is richly supplied with the network of blood vessels in which the blood is circulated. This blood has RBC, and in this RBC red pigment is found which is called hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin keeps affinity with the oxygen as well as with the carbon dioxide. Oxygen is less soluble into the water, and carbon dioxide is highly soluble in water. So carbon dioxide is circulated in the body in the soluble form, whereas oxygen is in the oxyhemoglobin form. We have to know that this hemoglobin bind the oxygen and carry that oxygen and supply to the different cells and each and every cell of the body through the blood circulation. And after the respiratory process, whatever the byproduct CO2 which is harmful to our body is formed, that will be carried and that will be brought to the lung chamber, to the alveolar sac, to the wall of the alveolar sac in the form of carboxyhemoglobin, and will be released into the alveolar cavity. This two process, exchange of gases, are the simultaneous forms. We have to know that this exchange will take time, but we have to know that a residual volume of the air is always present in our alveolar sac so that it can mitigate the exchange of oxygen, exchange of gases in that form in the breathing in and let out of the carbon dioxide. We know that oxygen will be taken by the hemoglobin in the form of oxyhemoglobin, and whatever the deoxygenated blood which is pumped to the lung by the heart, that carbon dioxide is released into the alveolar sac. Now we have to know that we imagine in the unicellular organisms diffusion plays important role in the exchange of gases. Entire surface of the unicellular organism in the contact with the environment, and exchange of gases is done by the diffusion only. In some insects, we also know that some asparagus, other organelles are present on the body surface, which plays very important role in the exchange of gases. But these are the organisms which are of tissue level, which are of cellular level body organization. But in human beings, in other complex body organization, in the organ system body organization, we know that the numerous cells, the billions and trillions of cells are present, and each and every cell have the demand of oxygen. Only diffusion cannot fulfill. Diffusion is a slow process of gaseous exchange, of gaseous transmission, and only this diffusion cannot fulfill the gaseous demand of each and every cell. You can imagine, just a data is given in our book, that from the lung to toe, if the molecule of oxygen is to be carried, that will take 3 years of time. So we can imagine this respiratory system in the association with the blood circulatory system. The oxygen is carried in the proper coordination of different organ systems, and the gaseous exchange and the gaseous demand is fulfilled. But in multicellular organism, diffusion cannot play the gaseous exchange work. Another data is given in our book that if the alveolar sac is spread over the surface, then it can cover 80 meters square of the surface area. Today's only we have studied about the structure of respiratory system and the mechanism of breathing. Thank you.